Hi everybody, and welcome back to my videos, whether you are watching on YouTube or Rumble, whichever one you are watching this on. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about some Twitter posts that I've been seeing lately. More specifically, Twitter posts constantly wanting the ICE agents to remove their mask and show their face. And supposedly in California, they passed a new law, which I've not looked into it. I might have to fact check that against Grok, I don't know. But supposedly, there's a claim that California has passed a new law that made it illegal for law enforcement to cover their face. I think this was an attempt to force ICE agents to show their faces. Now, a normal person would understand why ICE agents have to wear masks and cover their face. A normal person would know that and understand that it's for their own safety. Okay, it's for their own safety. The only people who have a problem with ICE agents wearing masks actually want to harm them. They want to dox them. They want to send them death threats and maybe even carry them out. These people are violent. Okay, it's like this is coming from the same people that endorses and encourages violent behavior in the name of peaceful protest. That's what they're calling it. And then they're trying to act like, oh, we're not gonna dox nobody. We're not going to kill them. This is all bogus. You're making this up. No, not when we can see clear video footage, time after time again, over the past 10 years, almost, of them acting violence and endorsing violence and encouraging violence. I can go over the thing once again. So you had, and this is just within the past year alone. Okay. Never mind the first 6 months of Trump's first term. So this is within the past year. There was 2 assassination attempts against Trump. And after the first one, Butler, when that failed, these people threw a fit. They had a full-on tantrum, making TikTok videos about it. And then, I don't think there was much of a tantrum or that I saw after the second attempt, which happened about 2 months later. Then in October, last October, a third possible attempt was prevented. The guy was acting suspicious. So I'm not sure if it was an official attempt or the guy was acting suspicious or what. Yeah. And then after Trump won the 2024 election, you had people making TikTok videos openly calling for Trump's and Elon Musk to be assassinated and for violence against Trump supporters and even Trump's cabinet to be assassinated. People were calling for that openly on Twitter. Not Twitter. And possibly that too, I suppose. But mainly I was seeing a lot of it on TikTok. Openly calling for it. And then, about February or so, they sort of try to become vague about it, use vague language, which I'm assuming is for legal reason, so that in case somebody does it, I can't be blamed for it. So, which is what their mindset probably is. So they're trying to use vague language. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to take one for the team. And sometimes they don't say exactly what it is, but they do acknowledge that they're talking about something that is illegal. And again, at that point, weeks of openly making TikTok videos calling for Trump to be assassinated, calling for Elon Musk to be assassinated, and even Trump's cabinet to be assassinated, and violence against Trump supporters. They're trying to use very vague language. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to take one for the team. Yeah. Then by the time it got to about March or April, around that area, it went to 86-47. And then they tried to justify, well, you guys said the same thing about Joe Biden. I personally never saw any 86-46 post myself. However, 86 can mean different things in different contexts, in different circumstances, okay? So, since Joe Biden never faced any death threats, never faced any assassination attempts, never had anybody constantly calling for him to be assassinated, never faced any of that, since Joe Biden never faced any of that, 86-46 was most likely referring to Joe Biden's impeachment. It was referring to, it meant impeach Biden. That's what they want to do. That's what that was about. That's what that meant. And then they try to claim that 86-47, well, that's about impeaching Trump. Again, they're trying to impeach Trump over bogus nonsense for political reasons. It's crazy. But you cannot just casually post 86-47 in this context, in this situation. Things are different. Okay, so 86 does not inherently mean kill or murder or assassinate, but it can mean that. It can mean assassinate, kill, murder, in a certain context, in a certain situation. Okay? For instance, Trump's situation with those assassination attempts, two attempts on his life last year, a third possible one prevented, people openly calling for Trump's assassination on TikTok, and then calling for Elon Musk to be assassinated, calling for Trump's cabinet to be assassinated, and even J.D. Vance calling for violence against MAGA, against Trump supporters. Over there vandalizing Tesla property. Some of them even planting bombs and stuff. In some cases. And then, more recently, the so-called mostly peaceful protest in LA, which they were protesting against ICE, and the mainstream media is trying to claim that it's mostly peaceful. We know that's a lie. We know that these people are violent. They're gonna get violent. And these people, I've already listed examples of why these people are violent, of how they endorse and encourage violence. They never call it out. They never speak against it. They try to justify it, or try to blame Trump for it. But this right here is exactly why ICE agents have to wear a mask and hide their face. It is to protect their identity. It is to protect their family. And then you see, and I've recently seen a post on Twitter, a video clip of somebody trying to take pictures of an ICE agent's license plate. And then the ICE agent got out of his car, pointed a gun at the guy, and the guy left. Like, dude, look, what do you do? Look, what was that guy going to do with that picture? Okay? Trying to use that to find his identity, and then dox him, and then send death threats to his family. All kinds of stuff. Maybe even try to follow through with those death threats. These are the type of people that would do that. And they want to lecture us about violent behavior. They want to call us the violent one when it's clear that they are. That doesn't make no sense. So yeah, like, and even now, I'm still seeing posts on Twitter about 8647 and depicting Trump in a coffin and all that stuff. People posting stuff on Twitter, saying, talking about how they just want him to drop dead already. The day that he dies will be the best day ever. People post stuff like that. And they want to try to claim that 8647 means impeach Trump. It does not in this circumstances, because Trump has faced all of these threats and multiple attempts on his life. And these are examples of violence of why ICE agents have to wear a mask. These are the same type of people that would try to do something that would want to kill these ICE agents. They want to find their families and eliminate them. That's what these people want to do. Otherwise, why would they care if they put... Also, it is hypocritical for them to demand ICE agents remove their masks, calling them cowards, whilst many protesters are also wearing masks. Ironically, those protesters are guilty of what they accuse the ICE agents of doing. Those protesters, they don't have no legitimate reason to wear masks. Those protesters wear masks. They are trying to avoid accountability and stuff. ICE agents wear masks to protect their family. Because that's the kind of people these are. And this video is starting to get long. That is it for this video. Well, bye.